Okay, so today we'll be doing application of calculus, also known as optimization. So the question says the diagram below represents a printed poster. Rectangle ABCD is the part on which the text is printed. So this is a rectangle ABCD, ABCD. So don't mind my drawing. It looks like a square, but that's a rectangle. This shaded area ABCD is 432 centimeters squared. So this is the area of this rectangle, which is 432 centimeters squared, and AD equals X centimeter. So AD is this part. So I wrote it here, I labeled it here. So AD was X centimeter. And then ABCD is 4 centimeter from the left and right edges. So basically it's from left to this part, which is 4 centimeter, and then from right to this part, which is also 4 centimeter, and 3 centimeter from top. So this is 3 centimeter here, and then as well as 3 centimeter here. So the question is to show that the area with respect to x is 3,456 divided by x plus 6x plus 480. So what we are going to do for this question is to find the area of the big rectangle, which is EFGH. That's what we're going to do. We need to find the area of that big rectangle, and then we need to prove that, the area of that area is equals to that. So what we are going to do, remember that to find the area, we need to find the area of a rectangle, we need a length as well as a breadth. So we're going to say length multiplied by breadth to find the area. That's the area. That's the formula for the area. So the area is length multiplied by breadth. And then now if you can check, we do not have the length, which is EG. We don't have it. However, we do have 3 centimeters plus 3 centimeter, which is going to give us 6 centimeter. However, we don't have this, which is AB. So we need that in order to have EG. But if you can check this GH. So GH we have 4 centimeter. So this is 4 plus 1 plus this x, which is BC, plus x plus 1 plus another 4, which is going to give us what? The length of GH. This is going to be A plus x. So the length of GH, we do have it. However, we don't have the length of EG because we are missing the length of AB. So we need to go and look for the length of AB in order for us to do what? To find the length of EG. So to do that, we check. We have the breadth of this rectangle. We don't have the length, however, we also have the area. So that means we are going to use the area of this rectangle to find the length of AB. So let's go and do that. So we know that the area of the rectangle is given by length multiplied by breadth. And then we said we are talking about this rectangle that is inside. So the length is AB. So this is going to be AB. Multiplied by the breadth, which is BC. So this is BC. And then our AB, we don't know it. However, we know the area. The area is what? It's 432. The AB, we don't know it. That's what we're looking for. And then we do know the BC, which is what? Which is X. And then that means we're going to label this as X. And then that means our AB from here is going to be 432 divided by X. So this is now going to be the length of AB. And then now, using that length of AB, we are going to find the length of EG, because we said the length of EG is 3 plus AB plus this 3. So that means the length of EG is going to be what? 3 plus that AB plus AB plus that small portion, which is 3, this small part, which is 3 as well. And then now we're going to substitute and find everything. So we're going to find AG, which is 6 plus 432 divided by X. So this is now going to be the length of what? Of EG. Now we are going to find the area of what? Of rectangle EFGH. So to find the area again, we said it's a length multiplied by breadth. Remember that we have the length of GH, which we said is 4, plus BC, which was X, plus 4, which is going to give us 8 plus X. So now we are going to find the the area. So the area with respect to X is going to be length multiplied by breadth. And then now our length is EG. And our rectangle, the big rectangle there, so this is EG multiplied by the breadth. Our breadth is GH. So that's GH. So I'm going to have GH. And then now our EG, it's here. We found it to be 6 plus 432 divided by x. 6. So I'm going to have 6 plus 432 divided by x. Multiplied by what? Multiplied by GH. And then GH, I think we found it here to be 8 plus x. So this is 8 plus x. So now we are now going to multiply this. So 6 multiplied by 8 is going to give us 48. So this is 48. And then 6 multiplied by x is going to give us 6x. And then 8 multiplied by 432. 8 multiplied by 432 is going to give us 3,456 divided by x. And then the last part, which is this multiplied by x, and then x and x are going to cancel here. We'll be left with 432. And then now we're going to add the like terms. So now our a of x is going to be 48 plus 432. 48 plus 432, that's going to be 480. So I'm going to start with this term, which is 3,456 divided by x, plus, now I'm going to come with write this term, and then now the last one is now going to be what? 480. So now we have proved that the area with respect to x equals 10,456 divided by x plus 6x plus 480. Okay, so now the second question is to determine the value of x such that the total area, also basically that's the total area of the page, is at minimum. So now we need to think of, this is calculus, we need to think of cubic functions. We ask ourselves, where is our function minimum, and then where is it maximum? So how do we find the minimum point and how do we find the maximum point? So to find the minimum point, that's when we are going to do what? Remember that our cubic function goes like this. And then to find the minimum, to find that's the maximum point, and then we have the minimum point as well. So to find those two, we equate it to 0. Those are stationary points. So we equate the first differentiation, we do the first differentiation, and then we equate it to 0. And then that's when we're going to find the values of x. Then now that's what we're going to look for, because we're looking for the minimum. So even if they ask you about the maximum, what you're going to do, you're going to equate your first derivation with what? With 0. So that's what we're going to do. So remember that we have now, okay, we're looking for the area, and then the area was what? We proved the area to be 3,456 divided by x plus 6x plus 480. So now we need to do the first differentiation of this function and equate it to 0 in order to solve for x. So now we can see that we have a variable on the denominator, and we are not allowed to differentiate with the variable that is on the denominator. That means we need to take that. So I haven't differentiated my function yet. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to rewrite my function, and then however I'm going to take this x to the numerator. And then now if I do that, it's going to, here we have positive 1. If you take it to the numerator, it's going to change the sign of what? Of the exponent. So it's going to be negative 1. It was positive 1, it's going to be negative 1. Instead of dividing, now I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to have 3,456 multiplied by what? X to the power of negative 1. And then the rest is 5 plus 6x plus 480. Now I'm going to do I'm going to differentiate. So I'm going to have f prime of x. So doing that, I have minus 1 multiplied by this, and then I'm going to have negative 3,456 x to the power of minus 1 minus 1, that's going to give me negative 2. And then plus 1 multiplied by this is going to be 6, and then 1 minus 1 is just going to be 1. And then the differentiation of the constant is going to be 1, is going to be 0. And then I equate it to 1. I must equate this first differentiation to 1, to 0. I'm going to do that in order to solve for x. So I'm going to have negative 3,456 x to the power of negative 2 plus 6 equals 0. And then I can solve x from here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this back to positive exponent or back to the denominator. Doing that, I'm going to have negative 3,456 divided by x squared. And then I take this to the other side, which is going to be negative 6, and then I cross multiply from here. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to have negative 6x squared, and then negative, because 1 multiplied by this equals negative 3,456. And then I divide both sides by negative 6. Dividing both sides by negative 6, I'm going to have x squared equals what? Equals 3456 divided by 6. That's going to give me 576. And then my x is going to be plus or minus square root of 576. And then square root of 576 is going to be plus or minus 24. However, we are looking for 110, so our x is just going to be